Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between. I am your host, James J, with Kaliko Yas, who is not here, Mitch Mayhem, who is also not here. But hey, look who is here, Scooter Dust.
This is the way.
And the way is a great day for wrestling. We are at our 90th episode, if you could imagine that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't think we were
10,
going to get past episode 4.
10 more and we can go into syndication.
Yay! And if you've been keeping up with any of us on social media or on YouTube or Castbox, you know that we have been doing some interesting interviews as of late. Last week we interviewed Christian Robinson, the psychedelic psychonaut. Wasn't that a great interview?
That was a great interview. Um, Especially considering that in the back you could hear that he was watching what I assume was the WWE network. Maybe it was something on DVR, but that's Christian Robinson is an indie worker who is a dedicated fan and lover of the craft. So if you get a chance, check out that interview, an inside look at what it's like to be an indie wrestler in this current global climate.
And next week we have lined up during Wednesday night Dynamite and NXT. That's when all our interviews drop. We will be interviewing DVN, and that should be a very interesting interview as well. She's doing a
Yes,
lot of interesting things as of late.
yes, Demian, one of the not exactly a rookie, so to speak. Does have a bit of experience.
8 years in the
Uh,
business.
um, in the Northeast area, or my area, neck of the woods. Has done some work for New England Championship Wrestling, which before the pandemic was one of the indie promotions that was not known, but you should know about it because they would get the talent like they would get WWE's talent to make appearances and everything. But a very very interesting resume for Debian, and of course our first interview with a female professional wrestler. Now, before you go, uh, before you take to the message boards and chastise us for bringing gender into this, we promise we will not really make it so much about gender to us, but more maybe about what Devian's opinions are on women in pro wrestling.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be an interview you do not want to miss. Also, lined up in a couple weeks, hopefully we'll get you that Bam Bam Malone interview. Some scheduling conflicts prevented us from doing it this week. But yeah, every Wednesday during Dynamite and NXT, you can hear a great independent wrestler story on Wrestling with interviews from Wrestling with Entertainment.
Not sure if we need to come up with a catchy name. We'll think of something,
Wrestling with interviews. And
or, or like a subtitle.
we could talk about it.
Yeah.
Definitely something else we need to talk about, or maybe at least address. Mitch actually brought this to my attention last week on the show. Karl Anderson's wife writ on his face, cheater, liar, all very inappropriate things, and then later on went to Instagram to say that he's a liar and a cheater and has left her. After that post, I believe it was deleted. Carl Anderson made a statement claiming that it was all some type of storyline and all is well. Scooter, walk or shoot.
Well, this is uh I comment a lot about my time in the business. Um and what a lot of people don't know about my time in the business is that I started with my then fiance at the time, and we started training together. And where the unspoken rules is, don't don't really work together or start out together. Forming relationships while you're working, that's one thing. However, it's just however, Karl Anderson, if if he is bringing his wife into a storyline, I can't exactly see how that would pan out, considering uh his focal point is the tag team division of Impact. Um, this could be a just a. I don't want to use the term work because I don't think this will play out into a storyline, but I think it's possible Carl Anderson's wife was possibly feeling neglected or something else happened and she was trying to get his attention. Who knows?
I think only they know at this point.
Yeah. Um, there is another story from last week that I also want to
I think we were,
elaborate
I believe we're
on.
talking about Kylie Rae maybe retiring.
Yes, and she apparently has. Um,
That's truly a shame.
uh, and we were speculating on what was going on with Kylie Rae. I speculated that this really seemed like it was the behavior of someone with a possible uh I don't want to say mental issue but mental health related.
Yeah.
And not only is she leaving the business, but she's also leaving social media
And,
to
there is a
focus on
lot
it.
of things going on in the world. And, you know, being a wrestler, and there's a lot of critics, and sometimes, when you're not in the best mental health state, you can't really maybe determine what's a shoot and what's a work. I can't imagine that all hasn't, weighed on her mind. So I'm happy for her. Hopefully she gets into a better place in her life, and hopefully this isn't the last we hear of her in pro wrestling.
Yes, and also we should probably acknowledge Brock Lesnar's great ability to cosplay as Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You haven't seen Brock's new beard? Or
No,
goatee and mustache, I should say?
no, I have not. Okay, this is
Oh
something
my,
I need to.
oh my God! It's so odd looking for for somebody with hair like Brock, who is, I believe, a natural blonde, but not like typical blonde we associate with you know California and Valley girls, but almost more towards like albino white.
I
And the beard just looks so like different and interesting to the point where it got people wondering if this meant a possible face return for Brock. Of course, it most likely doesn't, but it was just very
I was
weird
just
to
going to
see.
say, what does a beard and goatee mean for turning face?
Well, you know
Usually, facial
how
hair indicates heel turn.
uh the the change in appearance or ring gear, usually that's more associated with title changes. And Rob Van Dam was the first to establish this precedent, because every time Rob Van Dam came back and he had new tights, new trunks in a title match, he won.
RVD always had
Uh,
the sweetest ring gear of any wrestler.
but just imagine Jim Neidhart with a blonde goatee and mustache.
I
It's
tried to
just
find it, but I could not find it. But
uh, what's it? I will find it eventually.
okay, message it to me. um, moving forward, um, Cody got his last name back. He's Cody Rhodes again.
Yes,
That doesn't seem
yes,
like a big newsworthy story, but it kind of is, right?
yes, yes. It is. I will also add to this that the WWE has released a new Dusty Rhodes shirt
And soon
that
they're actually releasing a new action figure as well.
yes, and Kevin Owens was seen sporting it on SmackDown last night.
Hmm.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Something coming in here. Uh, with regards to the Kylie Rae situation, Kylie Rae announcing she was no longer a professional wrestler. She was unwell and needed to get better. But she would have bound for glory. Uh, According to the Wrestling Observer, Impact has issued a gag order.
Pertaining to.
Kylie Rae. Hence why nobody has said anything about
Okay.
Kylie Rae. Right thing to do here.
That's that's interesting on Impact's part. But going back to Cody, uh, you know that last name holds a lot of weight. The Rhodes. and it's a big deal that he could be Cody Rhodes again.
Yes, that really does uh mean a lot. Um, some I don't know if there was any sort of legal battle involved
I think maybe
with this.
a legal negotiation, possibly.
Um, because I don't know. I don't know when Dusty passed if Dustin or Cody or if they were both put in charge of his estate or if he even had an estate. But um, yeah, getting that last name back means so much in today's era of professional wrestling, especially when the WWE is taking away taking away. They used to take away last names. Now they're taking away first names because Matt Riddle is now Riddle, just Riddle.
I wonder what
And
his first name is. It's a riddle.
and it's friggin' ridiculous. Matt Riddle apparently loves the idea. You know, give me some of whatever he's smoking. But
Would be
it's
hard to find.
Cody retaining the last name of Rhodes. It's it. I see it as both a great thing and also a bad thing.
How do you mean?
Uh, Great because the name is synonymous with the classic era of pro wrestling.
Second most recognizable, only to Muhammad Ali.
hmm but bad because it makes you question if Cody had the confidence in himself to step out of the Rhodes shadow and succeed without being recognized by name alone.
Well, I can make the argument that he kind of has. I mean,
That I would say that too. I would also ponder if he's worrying about his popularity slipping. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
I get you. Um, the only thing I see about it is that it's his last name and it's a legacy. So why
I
would
mean, technically, it's not his real last name.
well, yeah, but you know what I mean. It's a legacy that he wants to continue. And Charlotte was Charlotte, and then they added Flair afterwards. You know, because it's
Yeah,
that legacy of this. I want to add to the already legacy that I had that my father started, and now I'm adding to it.
yeah.
No, the one thing that I wanted to say about that was there may have been some legal negotiation because AEW was trying to trademark Slamboree and another WCW paid preview. And it appears that WWE dropped the trademark for Cody Rhodes and AEW dropped the trademark for Slamboree. So do you believe that that maybe went into something into this negotiation, Scooter?
Um, Possibly. Um, yes, the WWE did surrender the trademark for it. I know AEW also picked up a new trademark on uh, a video game, and also um, for a couple of other things too. I think there was it was something related to war games. I forget what it was.
Because it kind of seemed like and we're going to talk about AEW a lot on this show because we're going to be covering, we'll be doing speculations for Full Gear, which is about to be on in a couple hours. But do you think that AEW has gone way too fast in 2 years?
Hmm.
I mean,
I I think that's a matter of perspective, quite honestly. It really depends on who you ask. By the way, Brock's pictures in the chat. Um,
oh damn, yeah.
um, some would say AEW's gone too fast. Some will say AEW has gone fast enough. Some will say AEW is right where they need to be. Um, and quite honestly, I think oh, we'll have to look at really the third year
Fair enough. That being said,
because
yeah,
um, the third year of a the wrestling promotion is really where they start to turn like everything around and start really making the money. You know, WrestleMania 3. Uh, when WCW splitting off from the NWA. In that, I believe the third year. Um, also maintaining an association with the NWA. Um, ECW really gaining popularity in 1997 after being formed in 1994, technically 1992, but picked up in 94, really becoming popular in 97 during the start of the Attitude Era. So I think we still have to wait to see and judge AEW.
I think that's a fair assessment. Um, Alison Kay left
Yes.
her NWA this week and is making her AEW debut on actually today, later today,
Uh,
against
uh,
Serena Deeb for the, ironically enough, NWA Championship.
um, it's funny because I'm actually on Facebook friends with Alison Kay.
Oh, really?
Um, yes, and she posted a picture of one of her most recent matches. It was a hardcore match, and,
Bloodsport.
and um and it was just a picture of her left butt cheek in her trunks with a big bruise saying, "This is what happens when you take a staple gun to the ass."
Ouch.
Thanks. I think it. God, I forget again. It might have been Thunder Rosa.
I never heard Thunder Rosa using a stapler.
No, well, no. I'm. Uh, all right. I'll remember who it is eventually.
Um, we've talked a lot about the AEW women's roster, and how lackluster it's been in this first year. Is Alison Kay going to uh upgrade the women's division? Is she going to be lack of talent to wrestle, or is it gonna kind of gonna stay the same?
Well, I mean, hopefully she finds a whole new ground, a whole new fan base in AEW. So hopefully it will bring a little more credence to AEW's female division.
You know, and Kaliko's gonna hate me for saying this. Alison Kay's NWA run was lackluster, and I never really saw her personality come out during that run.
Oh, and by the way, it would the staple gun to the ass was from a match against Mrs. John Morrison, Taya Valkyrie.
Hey, and she got third-degree burns in return. Um, so maybe this is something that will work for her, but I don't know. Alison Kay is missing something, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a heel turn, maybe it's a face turn, maybe it's a lack of identity, but maybe she'll find it in AEW.
Yeah, I really I really hope she does.
And
Uh,
lastly, on yeah,
no, I'm just gonna say because she's over 12 years of experience. You know, also former Impact women's champion. Also one of the few female wrestlers who was a former Global Force women's champion. Um, so yeah, I hope this is the beginning of a new start for Alison Kay.
absolutely. And it wouldn't be a wrestling podcast if we didn't talk a little bit about WWE. The Royal Rumble is rumored to be and possibly be the only show to actually have a crowd. Um, it seems like WWE has had the slowest start when it came to this pandemic. They still don't have fans for WWE TV. Um, they were supposed to have them in November. That got pushed back to February, and it seems like they can't get off the ground with getting a crowd back in the arenas. Does that really have anything to do with them, or what are your thoughts on that?
Um, well, considering uh, the Thunderdome is expected to last into February, although there are rumors of moving the Thunderdome to a new venue. Um, the rumor is the WWE is working on something to allow fans to be present for that specific show. I'm thinking fans are going to be in boxes in plexiglass or plastic, tall rectangular boxes. Hopefully, they're ventilated. Uh,
that
because
that is a visual.
that's the only way they would probably be able to do it, because they can't do what Major League Baseball is doing with blocking off seats and having people sit 6 feet apart,
Or what AEW is doing.
or what AEW is doing either. Um, I mean, quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE starts charging to be on the Thunderdome.
Hmm. That is, yeah, but who would want to watch the Thunderdome? Who would pay to be on the Thunderdome when it's on your crappy laptop with a bad feed? When you could watch it on a 60-inch TV for $9.99.
The it's I would assume it would be some sort of like package deal. Like, I would even say, like, the WWE was doing the 3D cameras, the 360 cameras, I should say, and I'm kind of surprised they haven't really tried to capitalize on that.
Right.
Watching a pay-per-view and giving the fans the opportunity to actually switch the angle themselves instead of relying on Kevin friggin' Dunn.
So
Um,
do you think that they're actually going to get this done by January to maybe get fans, or do you think we're going to be waiting till 2022 to see crowds in a WWE arena again?
God, I
I know
mean,
it's a hard question.
at this point, I mean, at this point, we're gonna have to learn to live with COVID the same way we learned to live with the flu, with the chicken pox, with all that, and just let a herd immunity develop. And I know that's some people might call that stupid science, but no, I'm not saying it'll go away naturally, but that's the progression of evolution. The more people are exposed to this, and I'm not saying people should go out and get exposed to it. I'm saying
I mean, enough people have.
these these wild, I don't even want to say wild, but these massive attempts to contain COVID, to prevent it from spreading, have done the opposite.
Right.
Like, no no one has realized that if you just let people go and live their lives without restriction, I would guarantee we would see fans in a WWE arena sooner rather than later.
I hope that's the case. Until then, we will conclude our coverage of the news. And we are wrestling with
Cursing puppets?
AEW Full Gear.
Alright, that's just as good. Oh,
That was entertaining though, cursing
yeah.
puppets. It's AEW Full
Full
Gear is
gear.
in a matter of minutes at this point, I suppose. And we're going to give you our last minute predictions, a sort of preview, so to speak. Our first match on the card is Orange Cassidy versus your boy John Silver. Who wins,
Ah,
Scooter?
very interesting. Um,
No parcellism.
no, and I think this is, you know, I'm going to keep on saying this. Orange Cassidy is going to waste. He really is. The AEW has dropped the ball with him not capitalizing on that momentum after the most mayhem and beating Chris Jericho not once but twice.
Are you saying they should have gave him the championship off of Cody?
No, not even saying that. I mean, he should have looked like more of a contender, and he should probably be at least in contention. Um, but this is an easy win for Orange Cassidy as AEW has clearly established that the Dark Order is more like the pecking order
That sounds about accurate.
because who do you call to do the job? The Dark Order. I would even say the Dark Order is this generation's job squad.
Yeah, that sounds pretty. That sounds scary accurate. And next up we have Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in an elite deletion match. Like that wasn't like it
Yep,
wasn't
it's
smart enough
happening.
to finish with just the match that they had at All Out.
Well, and I believe this is happening at the Hardy compound.
I don't know if it's a cinematic match or not. We're being joined by
Um,
Mitch Mayhem though.
Yo, what up? See me on cam?
Yes.
What's up?
Hello. We are talking
uh,
about Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara in the elite deletion match.
yeah. If this is happening at the Hardy compound, it's Matt Hardy's win all the way.
What about you, Mitch? What are your thoughts on the elite deletion match?
So, okay, real quick. I just got home. I rallied in here. I gotta go take a piss. But say real quick. Say that again.
Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara.
Matt Hardy.
Okay, thank you. Um, I'm just worried that Sammy Guevara isn't going to badly injure Matt Hardy this time around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, if this is happening at the Hardy compound, I pray to God AEW is taking precautions.
I would hope so. Next up, we have Chris Jericho versus MJF. This is an interesting one, no, Scooter?
Yeah, Chris Jericho and MJF have been putting out some of the more entertaining stuff AEW lately, and
Polarizing would be the better description.
I mean, quite frankly, if you really didn't know any better and you asked the average fan what's the main event of Full Gear, they would probably say Chris Jericho and MJF.
And
Okay, I'm back.
hello?
Sorry. Yeah, I said I'm back. I'm sorry.
We're talking about Chris Jericho and MJF now.
Okay. What about it?
But if MJF wins, he becomes a member of the Inner Circle. I would expect MJF to win only for Chris Jericho to renege on the stipulation and just not let him join anyway.
I can see that happening.
My question is, should MJF join the Inner Circle?
No.
No, I was just gonna say, absolutely fucking not. There's no reason. It doesn't help him at all. If anything, it would push the Inner Circle. You need to have him on his own. He's a star on his own. You don't need him in a stable. That is an anchor on his foot, in my opinion.
But if he does join, won't
He's a loner. The way his character is, he's a fucking loner.
Well, no, but hear what I'm saying.
Except for Wardlow, but yeah, that's his henchman, not his friend.
What I'm saying is, if MJF joins, then maybe there's a little bit of tension as who's the real leader of the Inner Circle.
Okay, so let me give you an analogy that I think fits this perfectly. Someone gets traded to another football team, and there's these veterans that have been on this team forever, and this new guy comes in. You think they're just gonna let things be, and it's just gonna be, hugs and kisses? No, that's not how life works.
Yeah, right now. But if somebody from the Inner Circle questions Chris Jericho,
they're not going to allow. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you let someone from outside of your literal inner circle come in and not be, especially the way he's coming in? If he has to win his way in and then not be suspicious, that's just stupid storytelling if you don't fill it out that way.
So, Scooter, you went with MJF, correct?
Yeah.
Do you not see my point in it, though? Real quick, I'm sorry.
No, I understand what you're getting at.
Okay, go on.
Who wins the match, though, Mitch?
You know what? Screw it. I think MJF's going to do some chicanery, but then Jericho, I kind of agree with Scooter that Jericho's going to pull a fast one on him and say, yeah, think twice.
All right.
When I heard him say that, I was like, that sounds like Jericho.
Next up, AEW Women's Championship match. Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose. Who wins, Scooter?
They should keep it on Shida. But I've got a bad feeling about this, that they're going to give it to Nyla Rose. I'm going to say Shida, but I'm expecting Nyla Rose.
What about you, Mitch?
Say again?
Shida versus Nyla Rose.
Cheetah.
I mean, this is just a recycled match because there's nobody for Shida to actually wrestle. Am I wrong on that opinion?
Nyla Rose just doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry. It feels forced. It feels like you're forcing a square peg through a triangle hole.
No, you're absolutely right about that. It seems, okay, well, Britt's not available, Big Swole's not ready. Who should we put against Shida? Oh, well, Nyla's is available.
Right. Okay. You just said it. Who's available? Who do we have? Not who's best for this spot. It's, oh
Yes.
shit, we need a spot to fill. We need this person.
Unfortunately, that seems like the whole story of the women's division at this point.
There are enough independent. They had got Statlander. They can find
Injured.
independent talent. They just have
Yes.
to develop them correctly.
I mean, you're absolutely right about that, but Statlander got injured, so it's
Quick.
kind of like
Okay,
two steps forward, one step
here's my
back.
point. She's one of the few they were trying to develop.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you.
NXT and WWE 10 times better at developing talent by
Yes.
far.
No, you're absolutely right. AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page.
And this is the match that people have been waiting for.
Well, who wins, Mitch?
Hangman.
Ooh, Hangman. What about you, Scooter?
Well, most people don't realize that this AEW has done this match before.
Well, not with this build-up though. They were friends before, and now there's an actual like hatred in storyline's sake.
I mean, quite.
They were buddies, and now there's a break happening. I'm just saying.
I mean, I would probably. I'm gonna go with Kenny.
Why would you go with Kenny?
Because it's opposite of me. No.
Because I think AEW is going to pull the trigger on a Kenny Omega title reign.
Oh. Well, he deserves it. He was New Japan champion for how long?
6 months.
I think he could carry the world title. Well, it seemed like forever then.
I'll be the tiebreaker here. I actually think that they should go with Hangman Page.
You got to build Hangman. Omega's already made. This will solidify Hangman. And then you can still build this feud and have Omega have a payoff later, and he can still win the title, and like an Owen Brett situation. You build Owen, and you still have Brett win the title.
That's actually a good point. And if Hangman does it in a nefarious way, that wouldn't surprise me, and it would be the best.
I think right. See, if it was me, I would do the opposite. I would have Omega turn heel because no one would see it coming. But
I feel like they botched that at
They did botch it, but if you did it right, I think he could pull it off. But you'd have to do it out of nowhere, and I think it would work. But Hangman is good at having a brooding, the way he's playing it up. It's perfect. He is a great actor. I think he does his spot very well.
Next up, we have AEW TNT Championship match: Cody versus Darby Allin. Even if Darby was to win this match, nobody would still know who he was at the supermarket.
Okay, real quick. I didn't go to a supermarket, but I did ask a friend. I showed the picture. And I said, hey, what is this? Who does this look like to you? Do you know who this is? Do you want to know the answer I got?
Yes, I do.
My friend asked me, did you take a picture of that person in a store? Walking by. They thought it was just a normal person.
Well, I'm really glad you shared that with us. It just confirms
in fact, my other friend, my female friend, goes, he looks like he's trick-or-treating.
We don't know what Darby Allin does in his free time.
No, but she thought he was like a 16-year-old kid.
Tom, I'm joking.
Yeah, like a teen.
Alright, on all serious, Cody versus Darby Allin, who wins?
You're asking me that and you prefacing that by saying serious?
Yes.
Cody, you dimwit. Come on now.
Well, I thought it was a serious question. Fuck you.
Seriously stupid. No, I'm joking.
What about you, Scooter?
Something is telling me that it's going to be Darby.
I mean, if he doesn't win this one, in all seriousness, then it kind of destroys the building blocks of making him a superstar, doesn't it? He hasn't beat Cody yet.
Yep.
Next up, AEW Tag Team Champion.
Real quick before you proceed, I think I've been pretty consistent in saying that I never saw Darby Allin as a star. You keep saying, "Oh, you need to make him look strong." I think he's farting in the wind, dude, or farting church, whatever analogy you want to take.
I'll take both, but they're trying to build him as a superstar.
Okay,
And
well, remember what I said earlier about AEW not being really good at in terms of picking the right talent and developing them? Well, there
yes.
you go. There's a perfect example.
How about this, Mitch? Would you maybe change your perspective if Darby Allin wins this match?
No, I don't. I don't see anything in him. There's a million people like him. He looks like me. I'm skinny like him. That's my physique. Okay. I'm just saying there's like I don't see what makes him special other than other people like that. I just don't.
Alright. Going on to the next match, AEW Tag Team Championship match. FTR versus the Young Bucks. And if the Young Bucks lose, they will never challenge for the AEW Tag Team Championships ever again.
like saying Shane McMahon will never come back to his father's company.
Correct.
Yeah, like I believe that. Okay.
Who wins the match, though, Mitch?
Well, the Bucks and who? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
FTR.
My ADHD. Oh, I would have said FTR, but I don't see the Bucks not ever going for the titles. The Bucks. That's just not possible. I don't think.
This is a this is a
They're-
dream match that we've been waiting for what, 5 years
yeah, and I
now?
thought FTR would take the first match, but this puts its spin on it.
What say you, Scooter?
Uh, also, Tully Blanchard is banned from ringside
What
for this match.
how about? But you know who isn't, and who still is loosely affiliated with them?
Arn Anderson.
Arn Anderson.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Not
Arn
to mention
Anderson's going
Sean
to probably.
Spears.
Arn Anderson, I think, would probably. And you know what? I would even say if Darby Allin and Cody go on before this, and Darby wins, imagine Cody and Arn having a impact on this match and forming a group with FTR.
But Cody kind of already has his own group, the Nightmare Family. So he would be leaving that behind to join.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. I mean, the Nightmare Family was a concept that existed for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's true.
As soon as it was created, it was dismantled, and now there's only the natural nightmares, Dustin and QT Marshall. So, I'm I would even, this would really be I could see Cody interfering for the Bucks with Arn, and you get a battle of the brainbusters almost, and uh, um, or you try to relive, you try to do a better version of Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard without Sean Spears. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
You think Tully will ever leave Sean Spears?
I kind of did he did leave him like once or twice already.
But he keeps coming. But they keep coming back together.
Yeah, obviously they don't have creative for these two. Those two people.
I mean,
so it's not like Tully's like abandoning him completely. Obviously,
I mean they haven't banned Tessa Blanchard from ringside.
What I mean is, storyline wise, they keep bringing each other together. They keep coming back together in the storylines.
And that brings us to our AEW World Championship main event: Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston in an
real quick. Whenever you say AEW, I hear TNA. But anyway, go ahead.
AEW.
You don't get what I'm saying?
No.
They mirror each other. Old TNA and AEW mirror, to me, are very much alike.
Yeah, I could.
Like 2008, 2006, 2010 TNA. That was the best of TNA, in my opinion.
Maybe 6 sides.
Maybe to 11, but when you get past 11, Bischoff and Hogan shitted on that bed so hard. They ruined it.
Well, I will say Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston is one of those matches that I'm actually really looking forward to. I think this is a really.
I've seen Eddie Kingston wrestle many times. So.
I think this is a really good main event for them. Mitch, who wins the match?
Okay. My ADHD, I heard what you said, but it's Eddie Kingston versus who again?
Moxley.
Moxley. Oh, well, come on. You think they're going to let Moxley take an L? No, that's not happening. Moxley.
What about you, Scooter?
Well, considering this is, the pride of CZW.
That matters here? Okay.
This is going to be bloody and brutal.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
This is going to be hardcore, ultra violent. This match will probably put XPW to shame.
Hold on, that's not necessarily just CZW. That's just fucking Eddie Kingston.
But the fact that this is an I Quit match, I'm going to say it's going to be a no contest.
No, I don't think. I don't
that
think
both men are. That the referee's going to call it after both men are bleeding so profusely.
What I think will happen is, I think that, like you said, it'll get gory, it'll be bloody, it'll be gnarly, dude. And Eddie Kingston will get his hits in big time, and it'll look close for a while, but eventually Mox will hit that big move and like bust him through a glass coffin or whatever and get the win. Watch.
But will he make him say I quit?
Get the win. It means make him say I quit. Okay, when I say hit the big move, means the finish. Okay.
I don't know. Selfishly,
so that means making him quit, obviously.
Selfishly, I kind of want Eddie Kingston to win the match. Dude,
wait. Okay. used to idolize Eddie Kingston when I was starting because I watched a few of his matches before I got in because he was doing the indie circuit back then in 2004, 2005. I'm a huge Eddie Kingston fan. I want him to win too. I'm just telling you what I think they want.
And, other than it just being, a shit heel move to quit, and maybe non-kayfabe world, Eddie Kingston really has no reason to quit. I mean, he could basically die in the middle of the ring before he quits, legitimately. Well, Moxley actually has a family to not quit for. You know what I mean?
What you're saying is, it's dangerous. Yeah, a man with nothing to lose is the most dangerous thing.
Yes. And Moxley has a lot to lose if he doesn't say I quit to Eddie Kingston. All I'm putting out there. But we will definitely see. And we will definitely cover it next week on the show. Until then, we will conclude our coverage of AEW Full Gear Preview. And we are wrestling with the New Japan Best of the Super Junior entrance. It was announced a couple days ago, about a week ago. All the competitors in the tournament. And by looking at this roster that they have compiled, it definitely shows New Japan's favoritism for the heavyweights rather than the junior weights. Have you seen the list, Scooter?
Yes, I actually have it up in front of me right now.
Pretty lackluster that they couldn't get any overseas competitors. No?
You expect anything less right now with the pandemic?
I mean, aside from Robbie Eagles,
Yeah.
I mean that's the only one you could probably consider a.
So essentially, you're saying no one. Yeah.
Yeah. This really is a like. This is. I'd even call it this. This is like bottom of the barrel, worst of the worst.
That sounds about right.
Like
that's
where
2020. That's 2020 for you, baby.
God, this.
Dude, this year keeps getting worse, and you think it can't get any worse, and it keeps getting worse.
The I mean the two standouts, I would say probably Takahashi and I'd probably say Taguchi.
Well, Taguchi actually does very well.
You aren't joking when you said bottom of the barrel.
Like, or maybe Kanemaru.
Kanemaru might not actually be in this tournament. He recently suffered a knee injury. So we'll see what happens there.
So basically, Ibushi would have to carry that shit.
Despy.
Huh?
Kanemaru teams with Desperado.
No, I'm
talking
about Ibushi, but he said Ibushi was in it. But anyway.
No.
Never mind.
Bushi is in it, not
Ibushi.
Bushi!
I thought you said Ibushi.
Nope. No, he just stuttered and then said
but I said Taguchi.
Yes. So let's
not Bushi. Okay. Well, no, I heard Taguchi. I heard you say Taguchi, and I could swore that's why I thought you said Taguchi.
Takahashi, Taguchi, Kanemaru.
Okay. Whatever.
let's really quick
Syllables
go
all sound the
to
same after a while. Sorry.
all-time competitors. We got Hiromu Takahashi, who it's a one-man tournament, so to speak. Bushi, Ryosuke Taguchi, Nobu Kadamaru, El Desperado, Taichi Ishimori, Sho, Robbie Eagles, Grandmaster Wado, and Dookie.
Why can you?
Dowkey, not
Dookie.
Dookie.
No, that was just my thoughts on this tournament.
Touche.
Yeah. But, on the opposite end of this spectrum, Super J Cup is coming to America once again on NJPW Strong Style. And this tournament is actually 10 times better than the one in Japan. And I'm gonna run the names out for you. We got El Phantasmo.
Asmo.
We got Clark Connors,
Clark
who just won the
Connors.
Young Lion Cup. We have TJ Parkins, ACH, who has made a return to pro wrestling. Christian Blake, alright, maybe not.
Blake Christian. Not
No,
Christian Blake.
Blake, yeah. Blake
Okay,
Christian,
sorry, I'm
okay.
back. I had to deal with my dog. Sorry.
Chris Bay from Impact Wrestling. Ray Horace from Ring of Honor. And Leo Rush. And that's the Super J Cup. Compared to the other tournament, this is 10 times better, right, Scooter?
Yes, but I wouldn't even say by much.
Well, it has this tournament to me kind of embodies more of the junior heavyweight spirit that New Japan has always kind of endorsed.
Yeah, you when you hear Super Junior, you don't you expect something more like like the cruiserweight.
Right.
And the Super J Cup, I would even say maybe you should switch the two.
So make Super J Cup in Japan and make the best of the Super Juniors in America.
Yeah, but then I would probably say just keep it in Japan.
The way you say that, you say it fast, it sounds like keep it in your pants. So I'm just saying now.
That being said, do I even need to ask you guys who you think's gonna win the best of the Super Juniors?
I
Leo
mean,
Russ's
if
wife.
it's out of them, no, I don't know. That's like the bench team coming in. That's like the 1994 baseball strike.
What about you, Scooter?
Leo Russ's wife.
No, I think she would be in the Super J Cup, not best of the Super Juniors.
You guys, Super J Cups.
I don't see anybody else but Takahashi winning.
I mean, we're trying for at least a couple good matches. Taguchi
Can your voice crack anymore? I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
Taguchi usually puts in some good effort matches in this tournament. Ishimori is obviously the champion. Dusty is a wild card at this point, but other than that, yeah. we're looking forward to who's going to be in the World Tag League next. And Mitch Takahashi.
Yeah. Huh?
Takahashi for the win.
I mean, I don't know the others involved. Like, all that list of people you said, I don't know them.
All right.
So I guess.
And Super J Cup. You want to make a best educated guess, Scooter?
Yeah, probably Clark Connors.
I'm going with ELP 2 years in a row.
See, I would just be lying if I said someone I don't know these people.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we will be covering Best of the Super Juniors and Super J Cup as they come later on this month. And I'm sure Kaliko will have a bottle of tequila with him when he returns next week. Until then, we will conclude our coverage and conclude this show. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, and comment both on YouTube and Castbox. And if you want to join in the conversation on Twitter, you can find me at JamesJ993. Where can they find Mitch Mayhem if Mitch Mayhem tweeted?
At Mitch Mayhem X.
And where can they find Scooter Dust?
At Scooter Dust, as always, and of course, holding it down for the UNB network at UNBS Wrestling.
For Kaliko Yacht, Mitch Mayhem, Scooter Dust, I am James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Oh.